guys, it's Housewife in Heels. So today we are going to be reviewing my beloved, my tried and true. Often people refer to this as my signature shoe, and I really think it is. I happen to love them. Most of the world tends to have a love-hate relationship with them. I just love them, even though they are a little bit more treacherous out of all my shoes. I just find these to be a spectacular shoe. And what shoe am I talking about if it wasn't already in the title and the thumbnail, things of that nature? It's a Louboutin So-Kate. I started my channel with So-Kates. So-Kates have a special place in my heart. They are, I guess you could say, my bread and butter, my reason for this collection behind me ever having happened. They are just a blessing in my world, but obviously not in everyone else's, because they do have quite the reputation, which we will get into. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into this review. So if you're watching this and you're wanting to inquire about sizing, have no fear. I have a whole video dedicated to Christian Louboutin So-Kate sizing, because these shoes often get sized horribly. And how do I know this? Because in my Louboutin journey, I have gone through So-Kates in not one, not two, but 3 different sizes, which is nuts. So if you check that video out, you're gonna see what a properly fitted So-Kate looks like versus a slightly big So-Kate, and then an enormous So-Kate. So I'm not gonna be getting into sizing today. If you want to know about sizing, I will have a link above. And now we're gonna go into whether or not you might be a good candidate for a So-Kate, if you have one in your heart, on your mind, perhaps in your future. So the So-Kate has a reputation for being quite notorious, very painful, the world's most treacherous shoes, which, yes, I could see why they check all these boxes and have such a horrendous reputation. Now, if you still have your heart set on them, regardless of all the warnings society and myself have given you, you really need to take a few things in mind before going and dropping potentially like $800 to $900 on a shoe. So if you are someone who tends to wear heels a lot, you already have a number of heels, you have experience wearing heels, you're very confident out and about in them, you don't feel awkward wearing them, you can walk in them perfectly fine, then maybe you're a good candidate for these. It's a strong maybe. If you are someone who already checks all those boxes and you already happen to have experience in a Louboutin pump, like say an Ariza, say a Hot Chick 100, maybe a Kate 100, then if you get use out of those shoes, if those red bottoms are red no longer, because you tend to reach for them so often and you're familiar with the breaking in process that you have to go and actually wear them, or you're the type of person who you put your heart into it and you do the sock method, you do the freezer method, you do the blow dryer method, whatever method it is that works for you, and you put in the time and effort to break those puppies in, then I think you might be a strong contender for a So-Kate in your life. Now, I'm not saying you have to do all those things in order to be able to confidently get a So-Kate and not ever feel inclined to sell because they just didn't work out for you, but I'd strongly recommend it. Getting experience in a Louboutin before going and dropping all that money on a shoe that you may or may not wear. So please be advised. If you're someone who just plans on going into a boutique and you're afraid you might fall in love with them and walk out with them as your first Louboutin, don't do that. That's exactly what I did. I am very, very guilty of that Louboutin sin as a So-Kate being my first ever pair. I don't want the same fate to befall to you that did to me. I wound up having to sell several Socates because I just could not size them right, but that's once again a whole other video. Now, there are people who just decide to go get them as their first pair, or they are not quite equipped to be able to handle a Socate, and they wind up selling them. So there are some things that you need to be advised about before going and dropping that kind of money. Like, say, should you have a more so average to wide foot, I would not recommend these for you. Is it sad? Yes. But is it the reality of a Socate? Yeah. Now, I will get into why they are so treacherous for someone who may not be blessed with a wicked narrow foot like myself. Now, this toe box, this is a teensy weensy little toe box. It's a little bit longer, which is nice if you have longer toes like myself, but it is narrow. I think it might be the most narrow out of all of the Louboutin pumps that are currently available, if memory is serving me correctly. It's been a while since I've really done comparisons between Louboutins, so please cut me some slack if they are not the most narrow. But this toe box is already gonna squeeze your puppies in. It's already gonna be quite a tight squeeze, especially if you're getting them new in the box. It's a process to break them in, and it's one that takes a lot of time and effort, which is why I was making that spiel beforehand about previous experience with breaking in Louboutins. So think about it. You're already like in there in a tight squeeze. Now, because of this wicked high heel pitch and just how steep they are, your feet are going to swell in this little tiny toe box that's already got a grip around you as it is. So you're gonna lose blood flow, you're gonna feel the pins and needles. These are all very, very normal things. Your feet are gonna go numb. People talk about having to walk around like Bambi in them. Well, that's why. It's because you're literally going numb. So be advised, if you have a narrow foot, then these might work out for you pretty decent like they have myself. If you got a wider foot, would not recommend. Just absolutely would not. And I know I said this a little bit before, but if you don't have experience in heels, don't even think about a 120. Just don't. Just gradually work your way up into it if you love the look of a 120, but you don't quite have experience. Or if you have your heart set on a pair new in the box, since a lot of people tend to, I would still strongly recommend maybe trying out a pair on the resale market. I've seen them for as low as like $150, $200, depending on where to look. Poshmark, eBay, The RealReal, maybe like Fashion File, things of that nature. Just fork out a little bit of the money. Number one, see if the size that you think you are fits you, because I know not everyone has the opportunity to be able to try them on before they buy. It's a sad reality. So see if the size fits you, and maybe you'll get more use out of something on the resale market because they're already a little bit worn and broken in it as it is. You just, it might work out better for you doing it like that. So I would recommend fork out maybe the couple $100. See if you can actually handle them when they're already a little bit broken in. See if you can handle the height, things of that nature, and then go ahead and get yourself a new in-box pair of Socates. So in order to wrap this little video up, I'm just gonna kind of condense it a little bit. So only really get yourself or a loved one a pair of Socates if you or your loved one is someone who is an avid heel wearer with plenty of experience in heels. Even experience in Louboutins are much preferred, because then you actually know your size, you kind of know what you're doing, you semi know what you're getting yourself into. But if you're the type of person, you got your heart set on a pair of Socates and want to walk out of a boutique with one or order one online like I sure have, then make sure that the return policy wherever you're getting them from is a good and decent one, and do not wear them out or on hard floor until you know you can handle these puppies. Do chores in them on your carpet. Sit around in bed while wearing them. See if you can handle the pins and needles I was talking about. Just get a good feel of them where you're not gonna scratch the bottom, because if you scratch the bottom, they won't take them back. And I will be getting into a try-on momentarily, but I have to give my little end of video spiel first. So, if you would like to further support me, like, comment, subscribe, all those fun things, that is always free and plenty appreciated by yours truly. If you would like to further support me, there is TikTok. I'm trying to hit 10K for obvious reasons on there. If you want to further support me, there is always Patreon starting at $3 a month. And I have my Poshmark closet linked down below. There might be some shoes of mine up for sale at this very given time as of filming. So other than that, let's go ahead and get into the try-on. Bye. So here I am in my showcase, specifically the confetti one like I was showing earlier in the video before the try-on. So yes, I do actually wear them. I do actually walk around in them. Do I recommend it? No, probably not, because it's a little bit treacherous, but hopefully anyone who might be thinking about these shoes or contemplating about purchasing them can see, just based on how I'm walking in them, that it is not super easy, but it is not impossible. So maybe this video will influence you to buy them and try them out, or maybe they will influence you not to, because you realize that these are probably not anything you want to venture in. But other than that, this is just my few little clips I was able to get for you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video and the shoes, and as always, I will see you in the next pair of shoes.